Stars,
Honestly.
golden nights, hurricanes, lightning, avalanche.
It's gonna get real rough real quick. Oh,
Wait, those are the next
boy.
teams we're
Calgary,
playing?
Those are-
hurricanes again, Kraken, Predators, Kings.
Hurricane.
Between now and the outdoor game,
It's gonna be a battle.
they're gonna get torched.
Yeah.
We're fucked.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Shannon.
Hi, Allie. Allie, how are you?
I am delightful. But, I had an interesting experience this week.
Yeah. Please tell me about it.
So I went back in time.
Oh.
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
No, me neither.
I went on a little time travel, not that long ago, just back to November.
Okay.
Do you remember when we recorded an episode about me meeting some of the players from the Jersey Devils?
Yeah.
If this is your first time listening to our podcast, this is episode 7 that I'm referring to. And in that episode, I told this very embarrassing story about me meeting Nico, Jasper Bratt, and Tyler Toffoli,
yeah.
and being an absolute weirdo.
I see where this is going now.
And I said at one point in that episode to Shannon and Sarah that you guys have never seen me when you're not around, because if
Yeah.
you're around, I'm with you and I act like me.
Yeah.
So you've never seen me on my own.
Yeah.
Without you. And if you did, you would not recognize me because I act so much like shyer and feel so awkward when I'm not with you guys. Because I'm so used to being with you guys. Well, this week, I think you had the opportunity
We did.
to hear how I sound when you're not around.
Probably the closest thing we'll get to it. Yeah.
Yeah. And oh man, I was thoroughly entertained.
Tell me about it, Shannon.
So this week, Allie was a guest on the Last Change podcast and had a conversation with Ricky and Andrew. And we unfortunately didn't get the chance to be there, but Allie represented. And oh my gosh, you're right. I don't know you when we're not with you. I was dying. I have a couple follow-up things, but please tell me about it.
It was so super fun. We had this.
Yeah, they sounded awesome.
Yeah, it was super, super fun. We were just talking about the Devils. We had this, we just did this fun little interview over Zoom. And I was the entire time just thinking, I wish Shannon was here to derail me, because as soon as you're not there, I realize how sincere and serious I am. I am very a straightforward, and in my head, I'm normally I think I'm funny. And then I'm that's just because I'm saying serious things on our podcast. And Shannon is just in my ear saying some of the most bizarre things a human being has ever spoken.
To make it clear, none of this would function if you and Sarah were not serious and came in with the facts, because then there would be nothing.
There are no facts.
There's no facts in this shit.
You know what I mean?
I don't know anything.
If you haven't, go listen to their podcast, and you can listen to the episode that I joined as a guest. We talked about our first memories of going to and watching some Devils games. We talked about Timo's outfits.
Mhm.
Oh yes. So as Ricky said, he had a bone to pick with you. And I just have to follow up on a couple things real quick. The first is, Ricky, if you're listening, I agree with you.
I'm getting roasted.
Yeah.
Timo is a Greek god. So much so that I have created this doppelganger Tio for whenever Timo does something wrong. It can't be him because he is perfect and flawless. So that's why Tio exists in my head to deal with that.
Wait,
Yeah.
do you think that's a photo of Tio then? Is that
Oh my gosh.
why there's something wrong with this
That's
photo?
why the gray filter's on there.
The worst dressed photo of Timo was
It's
actually,
actually-
Tio all along.
I gotta update the records really quick.
All right, Ricky, you were correct.
Timo, never the worst dressed,
Never.
but it was Tio who
Yeah.
didn't wear that suit quite right.
No,
We take it back.
That's why it didn't feel right.
Yeah, but it was super fun. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. We will have to maybe zoom them into ours at some point.
Oh yeah, I would love to have a conversation with them again.
But something that I want to highlight at the very end of their episode, they kind of caught me off guard.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that I like as soon as it ended, I had to call Shannon. I don't remember who said it, but someone's pointed out, and I need to mention this to you guys, that we are the only woman-run Devils podcast.
That's cool. Honestly,
Like, is that true?
I believe it. Tweet at us if we're wrong.
Yeah,
let us know.
You know what? There's no facts on this podcast.
Yeah.
We're gonna say it right now. We're gonna claim this crown.
Yes.
All right.
We are the only female Devils podcast.
Yeah, and I'm going to agree with Sarah. That's pretty cool. So that's why this is Hot Girls Hockey. Born in Jersey, our weekly opinions on the Devils. Again, there's no facts because we analyze by vibes.
If we say it, it's true.
Yep.
So, Allie, can you start us off with our red carpet report of the week?
Girl, I'm so excited for this red carpet report. There were so many outfits posted. The
Yeah.
carpet was actually red.
Oh yeah.
I think that's because outside the Devils locker room, because their colors are red, they have a red carpet. But we're gonna say it's a real Hollywood red carpet.
Yep.
But he's not walking on the carpet.
Yeah, what we're looking at is a picture of Eric Holla walking next to a carpet that is red. So
I bet the carpet's definitely for their skates.
it is actually, yeah, you're correct. So what we are looking at here is a series of photos, any of which could be the best dressed.
Yeah.
These are all photos from the Blackhawks game. They have the fun for whatever reason, these photos are brought to you by Genucel.
Yeah, huh.
I don't know why the Genucel logo's in the corner. But we have 4 gentlemen here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we might need to debate it out a little bit.
All right.
Who the winner is.
Okay.
Sarah and I are prepared.
Okay.
I'm putting my ranking together.
Oh, okay, perfect. All right. First up, we have Eric Holla in this wonderful scarlet suit.
Yeah.
This is it's a nice color. It's especially a nice color to see in winter where everything's kind of drab and gray. He's got the gray beanie matching the gray tie. I like it. It's a sharp look.
Love it. Love this color.
This is a great color. Our next contender, as per usual, Brendan Smith, always coming through with the JCPenney catalog.
Yeah.
I can't explain. There's just something so cozy and endearing about his outfits. He embraces color, but it's coordinated.
It's the elbow pads for me.
It's the elbow patches.
Yeah.
He has this cream cardigan with the brown suede elbow patches. And then he's wearing like it's like a button down underneath, but it has like a slight, I think, pink hue to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like a warm tone. And then his pants have like, I think they're navy blue, but they lean a little bit purple. It matches the tie. It's like the beanie is a nice like tan color. It's all these warm earth tones kind of coming together. It just looks very inviting and welcoming. And he's doing that thing he does in every walk-in photo where he gives like a sideways thumbs up.
He's just showing you his thumb.
He really is.
I love it.
He's like, this is my fingerprint.
Yep.
He's got his happy little smile.
It makes me so happy. Yeah.
There were other pictures I didn't include in this lineup that I have for you guys. One of him at, I think it was the Canucks game, where he's also just wearing like these bright, warm colors. He looks like a friendly high school English teacher.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like,
yes, I was gonna say history, but English works too.
Yeah.
It's the same vibe.
but like in a TV show, not like a real English teacher.
Yes.
Like a curated TV show English teacher. Next up, see, at first glance, this next one you might not expect to be on this list.
I like it.
It's the lining for me.
Yes, there it is. So it's Nate Bastian. He's wearing like a charcoal gray suit, white button down, black tie. It's all good. But he's like, this is like a motion shot. And he's walking, his jacket kind of like flaps open on the right.
Caught in the wind.
It's caught in the wind. And you can see that he has this print on the inside of his jacket. It looks like old black and white photographs. I can't tell who these people are.
Oh,
when
really?
you zoom in,
Yeah.
I swear.
Oh, it is.
Are they musicians? Like,
I thought this was like manga at first.
it looks like comics. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you zoom in, you can see it's like old black and white photos put together in
It
like a
is.
collage on the lining.
That's neat.
I don't recognize it, but I think it's really cool. And I wonder, I would like to know where it came from to figure out like who the people are on
We
the
need to
inside of that
ask our
jacket.
fashion correspondent.
We do. I'll have to send it to her. And then, of course, our fourth is Nico, who surprisingly has not made many appearances on this list.
Yeah, I know why.
Why?
He's not wearing the rose beanie.
Oh, he's not.
In this one. In this
He-
one.
He has been wearing that rose beanie everywhere.
Oh, never mind. I see
All
it
the time.
I am mistaken. As soon
Every
as I
day.
scroll to the next
I
photo,
think it's
he
like-
is wearing it.
His
Yeah.
security blanket this season.
It's so cute, though.
I'm obsessed with
I
it.
love that beanie.
But
I get it though. I have a hat that I always wear that I'm obsessed with, and if anything ever happened to it, I would cry for days.
so on the night of the Blackhawks game, he is wearing the classic combination of the pea coat. Although this one looks like more like a worsted wool. I'm not sure. With the charcoal pants, the white top, the Patagonia zip. I don't know. I just kind of like it though. He's not wearing the beanie. His hair is back. People got all worried that he cut his hair a couple of weeks ago. It grew back, guys. Hair grows back. It's okay. He also, I guess, like shaved or something. And people panicked about that too.
Why not?
But I don't know. I like this picture. It just kind of looks good. And I realized it'd been a while since I put him on the list. So I put him back on the list. And then there's another picture of Nico underneath it.
Yeah,
in
immediately
this-
followed Nico.
Yes. I like this one.
Yeah.
This was from the Canucks game. It's like a charcoal gray suit. No, this is like a heather gray suit, but it has the double-breasted waistcoat underneath. And I just love a waistcoat moment. We don't get to see them often enough.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So these are our top 4 options.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So your options are Eric Holla, Brendan Smith, Nate Bastian, or Nico Hischier times 2.
I've decided.
Okay, Shannon.
Eric Holla.
All right.
It's all scarlet red, and he pulls it off. Like that is like second for me is Brendan Smith, but it's just Eric Holla is just pop in the color. It's great. I think
agree.
it's great.
Yeah, I totally agree. And the little polka dot tie he's got on with it,
Yeah.
really cute. Love it. It's like my favorite color.
So I agree with you guys that Eric Holla has the best outfit.
Okay.
However, because this is a dictatorship and not a democracy, Nico gets best dressed of the week.
For the one with the waistcoat, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. I can.
Wow. Are we giving any
Damn.
places to anybody else or no?
Yeah, we can give a second place to Eric
All right.
Holla.
Okay.
All right, fine.
I
Makes
don't
me
have a
feel
particularly
better.
good reason. I just really like preppy outfits. And Nico has a lot of really good preppy outfits. And I haven't given him best dressed in a very, very, very long time.
Yeah, it has been
It's
a
a
few
lot of-
weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. Good texture to the
So
to the
I
gray.
decided before I even made the list and gathered the photos that he was going to be best dressed.
Oh
And
my god.
It's been even
Those are the
longer
rules.
since Eric Holla was, but you know, just saying.
Well, I do have to say, Brendan Smith has best smile.
Absolutely.
100%. I
Love
need
that
his
guy.
dentist.
All right, Allie. What's this last photo about?
Well, of course, we have to have our last place prize. You know what I realized actually
Really?
when we first started this podcast, I was like, I don't want to give a worse dress.
I know.
And then somewhere halfway through, and I would call it room for the most improvement. And
Yeah.
then somewhere halfway through the season, I started trashing probably Jack Hughes outfits and
I think
Curtis
it was.
Lazar's jacket.
Yeah.
And it became a worst dressed award. We're going to go back tonight. We're
Okay.
going to bring
Oh.
it back to the room for the most improvement.
Mhm.
Because this isn't a terrible outfit.
No.
This is just what I would call a disorganized outfit.
Sure.
We're looking at a picture of Dawson Mercer
Okay.
at the Canucks game. He's wearing a green-blue beanie with a just kind of, I don't know how to describe this. It's just a black jacket. It's a big black jacket. Doesn't have any particular structure to it. It's just a black jacket. But then he like randomly has on these like charcoal gray kind of plaid pants and then a navy blue tie. I don't know. Something about it. The elements, they're just not coming together. It's like a soup, but nothing matches. Nothing. It's just
In the
whatever
soup?
you had left over, you threw it in there. And on their own, each element is good. But together,
I need to push back just a smidge.
oh,
When you zoom in on the tie,
Yeah.
pretty sure that's velvet.
See, okay.
I
I
fucking love that. If it's velvet, like it's really hard to tell.
I can't tell because there is a similar outfit, not a similar outfit. There's a photo of Tyler Toffoli where I had the same debate. His suit, Tyler Toffoli's suit, looks 100% velvet, but in the lighting at the next game where he wore the same suit, it doesn't. It looks more like a brushed wool or even almost like a brushed suede. So I can't tell if it's the lighting or if any of these items are actually velvet.
Dang.
I'm also going to be 100% honest. I think that Dawson's tie is satin or silk or a silk satin because I think that's more of why it has that sheen. But I also, truthfully, I don't think any of these men are wearing velvet.
It's sad. I like a velvet tie.
I 100% agree.
I want to see it.
If someone wears a velvet tie, automatic best dressed.
Okay. That's why I was so upset. But now that I'm looking closer, you might be right. I still think he looks good though.
My last little portion of this segment is actually a follow-up on a prior episode. I think it was episode 10, where I gave Timo points for this very cute, like emerald green wool sweater that he was wearing at a signing. And I commented that I couldn't figure out what brand the sweater was from.
Listen, it was just a theory. Okay?
And we called it Timo's mom sweater.
No hate. I don't know you.
Well, in any case, I follow Timo on Instagram and he posted on his Instagram story, like he reposted from a brand. It's obviously like a Swiss brand. It's a newer designer. The sweater that he was wearing in the episode that we were talking about had like an overlapping L and F logo. And the brand that he shared is Luca Ferrera. So that is obviously where the sweater came from.
Yeah.
This is what we get for shit talking. In conclusion, Timo, sorry for slandering you. Peace and blessings.
Sarah, what is our weekly update?
All right, y'all. Once again, we are still in 5th in the Metropolitan Division.
It's not worse.
It's not worse.
6?
It's not 6th.
Whoa.
But we have been here before as well.
Okay.
But it's an improvement, I guess, technically. We have 45 points currently. That's 21 wins, 15 losses, and 3 overtime losses. We're tied with the Penguins currently.
We're not allowed to say that name on this podcast,
We're
remember?
not. No. So we're tied with the redacted team name that I didn't know we were allowed to not say. And I would also just like to take this moment to say, fuck the Islanders for being in 3rd after just losing in overtime a bunch.
God.
I'm getting really salty about this.
Such
lately.
a lame strategy.
I'm really annoyed with it.
Yeah.
It's extremely upsetting.
The PWHL would never.
No. So currently we are not in a wild card spot. Like I said, we are tied with the Penguins at 45 points. The ones who are in the wild card spots at the moment are the Flyers and the Lightning at 48 and 47 points. But
I always believe. I
want to hope.
want to believe.
I hope springs eternal, but you know what else also springs eternal for the Devils?
What?
Injuries.
That's for sure true.
And I think we can talk about this more as we get into the games, but my fear more than anything else, more than goaltending, more than coaching, my fear is that injuries will be the final nail in the coffin of this season.
It's starting to seem that way, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Let's start off. The last game we covered was the Bruins game. And then this episode, we're starting off with the Capitals.
Yes, this was the first game of 2024.
Wow.
And like you said, injuries abundant. Timo and Palat are out this game.
No.
Not anything, too shocking.
I'm crying.
But they called up Graham Clark for this game. They also called up his brother on a different team the same day.
Oh,
yeah. And
big day for the Clark brothers.
Yeah. The other guy did get to play, but Graham Clark didn't.
Rip.
Because I think Jack was maybe sick in the beginning of the day and then decided I'm going to play anyway. So
sure.
He didn't get to play.
The Dayquil started kicking in.
The stream that I was watching for this game was so choppy. It was missing every 5 frames. I thought I was going to have a stroke. I couldn't stand it.
No.
But Nico scored early. Scored the first goal of the game. Usually a bad sign.
Yes.
Usually a very, very bad sign.
That is a trap. That is a trap.
But it actually wasn't. But on the power play, not too long after that, Luke or Nico scored. I wrote, it looked like Luke, but they gave it to Nico.
Wow.
At this point, they were still the best in the league on the power play.
Shocking.
Unbelievably.
I don't even know
I
how to
still-
believe that.
Don't understand how we have this stat. Like, why is this the stat we're holding on to?
I don't know.
I think
I hate to break it to you, we do not anymore. But
rip.
yeah, then they showed this really cute shot of Nico looking really upset. Like his tummy hurts there. You can tell.
They were winning though.
They were winning, I know. But that's still the face that he made.
He's like sitting on the he looks despondent.
Yeah.
This is the face
I
you
love
make
this image.
when you're at war.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And
What
this
is
game
wrong?
was the day before his birthday, too. So you think,
I get it.
like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, same.
I get it.
I'm not a fan of that, but like,
Maybe he's a birthday crier. I'm a
Maybe.
birthday crier.
I'm not a birthday crier, but I don't love it.
Yeah.
I just ignore mine. I don't know how old I am.
That's a problem because I only remember my age by asking you how old you are. And then I just know like where in the year we are.
Oh, one of these days, you guys are you're gonna lose track of this.
We're going to be in a nursing home
Yeah.
someday. One of us, we're both going to have a little bit of dementia. I'm going to be making up all your memories. You're going to be making up our age. We're going to be like,
still 72. We're really like 94.
God, don't make me live that long.
I don't know how to transition from that.
It's a beautiful photo.
It's a beautiful
Thank you
photo
for
of him.
including it.
And I don't know, you'd think he would be a little bit less upset the day before his birthday.
With 2 goals,
Especially,
right?
yeah, with 2 goals. And
Hat trick watch.
I wanted him to have a hat trick for his birthday. Real bad. But every time that I hope someone gets a hat trick,
Doesn't
they never
happen.
do. Capitals scored in a power play with a little over a minute left in the first period, but it's okay.
It's just
Still up. I won.
classic Devils giving up
Yep.
that late first period goal.
Mhm.
You really want to go into that locker room before the second period feeling just a little bit defeated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It somehow works for them. And you know what helps is that Washington at this time was actually the worst in the league at power play goals. And still somehow did it.
Congratulations.
I just almost spit out my revenge goal drink.
And then I wrote, ding, ding. I guess there were some crazy shots by the Capitals that like hit the post and like barely didn't go in with seconds left in the first. I guess they were
Wow.
trying to not be quite so sad going back into the locker room. And then Dawson Mercer scored.
It sounds like the Devils were keeping up the pressure.
But they were.
really.
It's pretty good. And that was really helpful, obviously, because we have been kind of keeping at pace with the Capitals for a lot throughout this season. So this was a crucial game, I think, to take both points.
yeah,
Yes.
first
From
game
them.
of the season. Playing a team that, for whatever reason, had bamboozled them
Yep.
in their prior meetings.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good morale booster to come out strong against them.
But then the Capitals scored again. And I wrote, I don't know. I'm not worried for some reason. Don't know why.
Followed immediately by
And then, they tie it up with less than a minute in the second.
late period goal. Classic.
Yep. Every time.
Got to go into the third period with your blood pressure high. So what did they do in the third period to like turn this around to end it out strong?
So how did they recover? I don't know. They kind of, based on what I said here, they kind of sloppily were able to
That's the way to
recover
do it.
a bit of a lead. Not a sloppy PB&J, but we have a sloppy Mercer and McLeod sandwich, whatever you'd call that.
I feel like that's like, I don't know, but I feel like marshmallow fluff is in it.
Yeah,
I think that's the Mercer
that makes
component.
sense with the
Or McLeod
his
is a
hair's
cloud.
very fluffy, you know?
One of them is marshmallow fluff.
Yeah.
The other one, Nutella?
Okay.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
I was thinking deli meats, but I was just, I don't know, the two
On a
M's.
PB&J.
No, not on the PB&J. They're their whole own sandwich.
Yeah,
This is
fair
a
enough,
separate
yeah.
sandwich.
That's fair enough.
Separate sandwich.
Yeah, I wrote
No,
The-
on the PB&J, I agree. Fluff and Nutella.
Okay, but if they're sloppy, 100% they have marshmallow fluff in it because that is like the stickiest, sloppiest ingredient you can have
It's
in a
disaster.
sandwich.
I had fluff.
I know.
And peanut butter and
You
and
were
peanut
a
butter.
fluffernutter person.
for lunch 1 year in elementary school straight
I remember.
because I was allowed to
Wow.
make my lunch. And that's what I
That's what
made
you
for
picked.
lunch every day.
I love that.
I made that once for
I
lunch for myself.
Can't eat it anymore.
And having to like stick the knife into the sticky marshmallow fluff jar, I was immediately like, never again.
Ruined you.
Never again. Anyway, so what was this
Sorry.
Michael McLeod Mercer sloppiness?
So I have McLeod scored a backhand goal while falling. That's okay. Pretty cool.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Commitment.
Mercer then scored, and I said it was a mess getting there, but they did it. They were just apparently missing passes left and right, like assuming someone was there who wasn't, or just completely being out of reach. And they kept mentioning the Hugheses about that, particularly missing passes and stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, put a pin in that. It comes back into relevance.
Oh.
Yeah, during the last game that we're going to
later
talk
on
about.
in this podcast.
And then to end it, McLeod scored again.
Wait, so is that a McLeod hat trick?
No, it was not.
Oh, I'm bad at math.
Nah, that's only 2 for him. But I want to say it was 2 for everybody that day. It was 2 for Nico, 2 for Mercer,
Dang.
2 for McLeod.
Wow.
Yeah. But no birthday hat trick for Nico.
Damn.
But hey, at least it was a 6-3 win for once.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
What is this last note in your commentary here? I'm concerned by this.
They called a penalty on Brendan Smith with literally 8 seconds left in this game, which is just the silliest, pettiest shit I have ever seen.
What is the point?
I don't know. Are they going to start the next game on the power play or something? What's the point?
You know what? One time, like the next time they meet each other, the Capitals have a power play.
Yeah.
One time I was at a baseball game. It was like a Somerset Patriots game. I don't even remember who they were playing. I think they were playing like the Phillies AAA team.
Okay.
And it got rained out in the last inning. And so then they literally scheduled it so that the next time they played each other, they had to play the final inning of that game.
Oh, really?
And then
Wow.
start over
Wow.
with their next actual game.
That's funny. So I don't know. Maybe they'll do that. But that was her first game of 2024.
Yay.
So, what happened during our second game of 2024?
This was a very important game. This was actually the most important game of the season. This was actually the
What?
Devils' most important game in human history. Do you want to know why?
Oh, yes.
This was a fact. This
This is a fact.
is a fact.
Whoa.
This is a fact.
I'm bringing
fact.
I'm
I
bringing
just threw my cable
I'm
across
bringing
the floor.
facts into this podcast, Shannon.
I'm gonna spill this drink on your carpet. What are we talking about?
Please
I'm not
don't.
gonna. I'm not gonna do it. I'm sorry, I'm being dramatic.
This was the first ever hockey game that my sister watched.
Oh,
All her entire life.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so glad she
Also
did.
put a pin in that because we're going to talk about a little bit more about that
All
later
right.
for a
Hell
special
yeah.
reason.
Okay, well, getting into the gameplay. I watched this game.
We sure did.
We were
together
We
and
were.
we watched
We
this
were.
game, and I remember absolutely nothing except for one word.
What was the word?
Well, 2 words.
Oh,
Fights, 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 fights. Everybody.
fights, everybody. I like that.
Honestly, this is all I remember about the game.
Yeah.
Because this was an important day in my family household. Vitek was in net for this game. I know that because every single time the commentator said Vitek, my sister went, "Oh, Vitek. I went there." Because she went to Virginia Tech for
That's
school.
hilarious.
And she thought they were talking about Vitek, the school. But yeah, no, Shannon, you're right. I mean, there are plenty of things we could talk about in this game, but realistically speaking, what everyone remembers is that it was a really aggressive, physical game. And
Beyond.
a lot of that started when Brendan Smith hit Connor Bedard.
Yep.
I
Who-
like what you said.
What did I
though.
say?
You're missing the he.
Would you read this out in full for me?
Brendan Smith hits Bedard. He.
I feel bad about the he now, knowing that he broke his jaw.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they were
Holy
like,
shit.
where were I think Bedard was carrying the puck in to the offensive zone for him. I don't really remember.
I think so.
And Brendan Smith just checked him.
Yes.
It was an aggressive check. Connor Bedard, much like Jack Hughes and Luke Hughes, has a little bit of like frail Victorian boy energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's right there with them.
And the hit him hard, and he did kind of get like clipped in the jaw, and he immediately grabbed his face and went running off, and you could tell he was hurting.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it turns out that his jaw was fractured, so he has a mandible fracture, and he did actually have to undergo surgery. I don't know if they plated it or if they potentially even had to like wire him shut. Those are like kind of two of your main options. But either way, he'll be out for a good amount of time while that heals.
Injuries, man.
Damn.
Left and right.
He might be like Zac Efron, though.
What happened to Zac Efron?
Zac Efron, okay, we're going to derail. So Zac Efron.
I have no idea.
I don't either.
Remember like Zac Efron, babyface Zac Efron, High School Musical? Have you seen a recent photo of him?
Yes.
Where he has like this jacked jawline?
It's strange. Yeah.
Of course.
He swears that this happened because he fell and fractured his mandible. And then when it healed, like bones can sometimes like hypertrophy when they heal. And so like his jaw became more prominent. Okay. I have speculations on this, but
No.
we don't have time to get into this in this podcast.
Interesting.
But my point is, Connor Bedard might come back from this with like a chiseled jawline.
I think he probably
looking
will.
a little bit less like a frail Victorian.
Yeah. Interesting.
This might be the moment. This might be a what's the word I'm looking for? A coming of age moment for him.
Yeah.
He might come back
This is
a
his
changed.
Princess Mia.
This is his Princess
unveiling.
Mia moment. He'll come out on the ice.
Yeah.
And they'll like pull the old photos of him aside, and you'll see instead of frail, sickly Victorian Bedard, you'll see strong crimson chin Bedard.
If this seriously happens in this jawline, it's like, fucking damn.
This is his becoming.
Sarah, can you do that? Can you make two old photos? Like,
Oh yeah.
I'll help animate, like whatever we gotta do to recreate this.
Absolutely.
It'd be so fucking funny.
Oh my gosh. For obvious reasons, this turned the tides of the game
Yes.
because Connor Bedard has been having a rough go of it this first season. I mean, he's not that he's been playing well, but like just wacky things seem to keep happening to and around him.
Yeah.
And his teammates were none too pleased with Brendan Smith
Understandable.
roughing him up. And there were the, ensuing debates on whether or not it was a clean hit. And I think it was.
It
but
was.
I,
Yeah.
I say every time, I don't care if it's a clean hit. If it's my favorite player, it makes me sad. So I totally understand why the
Yeah.
Connor Bedard fans didn't like this.
Totally.
I get it.
Yep.
I feel you. It became a really aggressive game. At one point, I just have a note that says, Nico down the tunnel, I'm going to kill myself.
Yep.
Because he seems to keep getting hit. And this hit, if I remember,
Yeah.
so Connor Murphy checked him into the boards, but it was like one of those hits where he was kind
yeah.
of too far from the boards to be checked into the boards.
Yes. And then you fall awkward into the board in the worst way.
I swear, every time he does that, he gets a concussion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It stresses me out. Anytime I see someone who has had a concussion take a hit like that, it gives me palpitations. And it led to kind of just a little bit of like messiness ending in the first period. Chicago came out very strong in the second. They had multiple like quick, fast back-to-back shots on goal. And that was putting a lot of pressure on Vitek. And like in those moments, sometimes he can be really strong and he seems to like zone in and just like ping pong back and forth. And other times it rattles him and he like crumbles like a house of cards. This time, I don't know what exactly happened, but Vitek had to be bailed out by John Marino when he was just too far out of net. Marino had to
I remember this.
slide in there, deflect a puck, a shot from Chicago that was like basically on an open net.
Yeah.
Marino played goalie for a little bit. And every time that happens, sometimes that just does happen. And you need your defense to support you if your goalie gets like tied up a little bit at one side of the net. But it was just, I don't know, another one of those moments where I'm like, Vitek, that wasn't the best play. That wasn't the best option.
I'm reading your one note
proceeded to, again, just be further chaos. Nico came back. Bastian got into a fight. Smith went over to Chicago's bench and, like an English teacher, started lecturing them.
It was hysterical.
This game would have been
Hysterical.
an incredible game to mic up the players. I need to know what they were saying.
Yes.
Everyone was chirping. I want to know so bad. But when I tell you Brendan Smith was standing at the Chicago bench lecturing them, he might as well have been wagging his finger at them. Like,
Maybe his thumb.
have you guys seen my thumbprint? Have you seen it? Immediately after lecturing their bench, on the very next play, Smith decides, you know what? I got my first goal. Time to go back to the shenanigans.
Yeah.
Drops his gloves, starts a fight.
Love it.
After this, I think that came after Jack was hit.
Yeah, he was checked.
And
I
then,
forget who by who, but yeah.
And then a little bit of like a scuffle started against Jack after I think Jack got checked, and then Chicago started a fight with him for being checked.
How dare he?
It was chaos. As you said, it was chaos. There was just so much in these fights.
It was one of those games where you were just hoping a hockey game was going to break out in the middle of the brawl.
Yeah. That's true.
And at some point, it did. Holtz ties it up, though.
You got
what I can only describe as sexy passing.
I love this note.
What?
Because how you described it, I think is great.
It was beautiful. I can't, you know what? I didn't even know who made the passes. I think it
doesn't matter.
I
It was
don't
just
remember.
sexy.
Holtz was there.
Holtz was there. I was distracted.
Yep.
But despite that, I feel the need to comment again
Oh no.
on something frustrating. By the end of the second period, they were 0 for 4 on the power play. They had 4 with all this chaos. Obviously, there were penalties being handed out left and right. 4 power play opportunities, not a single goal. I think by the end of the game, there was actually a 5th power play opportunity also without a goal. And part of that, going back to the sexy passing, the sexy passing is fun. But at the end of it, you have to shoot the fucking puck.
It does matter. Yeah.
And they kind of went back to this thing where they were just passing beautifully, but weren't shooting the puck.
What's the point?
What is the point? When you're I don't get it. So and speaking of power plays, that 5th power play I was telling you about, they go to this power play. They keep the puck in the offensive zone literally the whole time. They have some sexy passing the whole time, and they just don't shoot on many opportunities because it's that same thing over and over again where it's like they're waiting for the perfect lane, which I get because turnovers have been a problem for them.
Yeah.
But they spend this entire power play in the offensive zone, don't score because they're just passing, not really seeming to shoot on goal. And then the Blackhawks immediately score a shorty as soon as they gain possession. And I feel like that's like if you're scared to shoot because you're scared that the Blackhawks are going to gain possession on the rebound, it didn't matter anyway because you were just passing the whole time and the Blackhawks still got possession and they still scored a shorty.
Yep.
Something that I think is absolutely coconuts bananas is in the second period.
Coconuts
bananas. It's not coconuts. It's not
Good flavor
bananas.
combo. I like it.
Okay.
It's coconuts bananas.
Yeah.
That's the name of the shoe color that I'm looking at.
That is going to be a flavor of Revenge Go.
Oh, I like
Coconuts
it.
bananas.
That's a good flavor.
There were, there's only 20 minutes in a hockey period.
Yeah.
And yet they found time for 13 penalties in the second period.
Ew.
Some of them I think were served concurrently. Because 13 times 2 would add up to 26 minutes. But there were 26 minutes of penalty time
Yikes.
in a 20-minute period.
Yeah.
That doesn't add up.
Like what?
What is going on? That is an insane amount of penalties. Just for a whole game, let alone one period.
In any case, this is one of those games. The Devils won 4-2, but they won in spite of their goaltending. In spite of themselves, in spite of the fights, and in spite of their goaltending. The Blackhawks only scored 2 goals, but I think many other teams would have scored many more.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
There was one moment where Vitek came halfway out to the blue line not that a goalie can't come out of net. Obviously, that is a play you can do sometimes.
Halfway out.
He was halfway out of the blue. So much so that for a moment I was like, maybe he just doesn't want to play goalie. Like maybe they need to put him out there.
Maybe that's the problem, honestly.
Maybe Vitek is meant to be a center, a wing.
Yeah.
I don't know. But man just did not want to stay in net.
Right.
We'll put Marino in there. Trade places.
Yeah.
And you could title his memoir for this game could be titled Vitek and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Rebounds. Because there were so many moments where he maybe saved the shot, but then gave up a terrible, terrible rebound.
It's starting to hurt.
It's starting to hurt my heart.
Something that really hurt my heart is the next game. Because right at the top.
You know what was great about this game? I did not have to watch it.
Oh,
I was at work.
lucky you. Right at the top. I know you have a list, Allie.
I have a list.
Yeah, but I just said, what the fuck is going on this game?
Yeah.
We have nobody. This is the beginning of the so many injuries. I'm like, how do we have no men on the ice right now?
As opposed to too many men on the ice? The Devils officially have no men on the ice.
Maybe I shouldn't have said anything.
Sarah's like, I'm sick of there being too many
There's
men.
too many of you.
And the Devils were like,
Bye.
we're going to get rid of a couple men.
We
That's
need
not
to
what I meant, guys.
rebalance this because Timo's out. Now
Again.
Jack is out.
Again.
Siegenthaler breaks his foot in this game, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. From like a hit from a puck going more than 100 miles an hour.
Wow.
And like just
Yikes.
directly striking his foot. That's how it broke.
That sounds so painful.
Terrible.
The beginning of this was really interesting because there were the first two Canucks goals. The first one we challenged and we
and this
won.
was supposed to, sorry, okay, I derailed you. I apologize so
was.
much.
Okay. Yeah.
This was supposed to be another Hughes Bowl,
Yeah.
a Hughes Olympics.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it was a Twos Bowl.
A
'Cause we-
Twos Bowl.
we only had
Oh,
two of the Hughes.
That's better than what I wrote. I wrote 2 out of 3 ain't bad joke again.
So getting right into the gameplay, the first two Canucks goals, well, the first one was challenged and we won, which I agreed. I believe it was for
Whee!
goalie interference. It was kind of ridiculous that it was even called as a goal on the ice in the first place. And then the second one, I don't know if you remember this, Sarah. I was fucking pissed because this one should have been challenged, but it just should have been challenged because I believe if it was, they would have taken it away. There was 2 goals by the Canucks in minutes, and I just felt like we're falling apart, but I still believe in you, Dawes. I don't know. I just have this blind faith in our team always.
I know. I feel like in this moment of like woes, for some reason I have built up Nico Dawes as a life raft in my mind.
Yeah.
Same.
And I don't know if that faith is earned yet. Like I don't know if that hope is misplaced.
Yeah.
But I just need something to hold on to.
I'm desperate
Yeah.
for anything at this point.
And this was cool. We got to see Connor Miller's first goal this season.
Colin.
Connor.
Nope.
Did I say Colin?
No, Colin
it
is
is
his
Colin.
name.
Oh, it is Colin.
You said Connor.
Yeah.
Whoops. I'm going back.
No, I leave it. It's a new team member.
Yep.
For
All
your
right.
roster. Connor Miller.
Sorry, Connor Miller. It's tough because we didn't win this game, right?
No.
I love the amnesia. You blocked it out so bad that you were like, I don't even.
Because my notes are so hopeful. I just had so much hope.
You are an optimistic person.
This game we were down, but the whole time I felt like Nico Dawes was like still battling. He just still had major saves, even though things got by. I was just happy to see him not give up. And Hala gave us some serious hope.
Oh, no. It says hula.
I know what it says.
In fact, it says hula woo. Hula woo.
It doesn't matter because everything.
I love hula woo. Hula woo is going to be another flavor of revenge
I think
goal.
it has to.
It's going to be the fruit punch flavor.
Yeah.
Well, everything becomes sad anyway because seconds later it was.
Wait, what was hula woo?
he scored a goal.
Yay.
And then I think we were like one goal away from tying it up. So
No, you said we're 4-2.
no,
2 goals
no,
away.
No.
They
We were
got-
one goal away.
Oh.
But then seconds later, the Canucks scored again, and it was just a killer.
Boo.
Because then
Yeah.
we were back to 4-2. It was just devastating. So, but yeah, I was just frustrated because I felt like Dawes made so many incredible saves, but there were too many holes in our defense, leaving a lot on Dawes' plate. But it's everything. It's just
Nothing.
there's just too many holes
There's
everywhere.
too many holes in the
Mhm.
cheese. The
Too many.
sandwich
Always.
is missing too many ingredients. The chef is
I don't even know how to describe.
what is the chef?
Where is the chef?
Where is the chef?
Not sure.
And the meal, it's coming out messy.
Yeah.
It's just not being cooked.
I think that is it. Yeah. It's just not being
It's
cooked.
just- it's just
raw
not cooking.
ingredients. Yeah.
Yeah, they're raw ingredients and they're not cooking.
So this game, just everything felt like, even though I was talking about there was too much on Dawes' plate, everything was a mess. The plays, the offense, the defense, the injuries, the lines, and just don't even understand what's happening anymore.
I would like to. So obviously the Devils lost this game on an empty net
Yes.
goal
And
too, which is sad.
Unfortunately.
I just have to really quickly say, I'm just fucking pissed. This, I feel like, has happened to us like 4 times now, and it was very significant, where there was a penalty on Luke Hughes right at the end, tripping, not called. Watch the replay, super obvious, but they were like, no. And Bill said this again. He was like, you're influencing the game by swallowing your whistle on an obvious penalty.
Yeah.
And I was
Poetry, Bill. Poetry.
Yes. And I was just so frustrated
But they'll
because we could have used it.
They'll call one on Brendan Smith with 8 seconds left, though.
I know. That's what
What's
I mean.
that?
I'm just like, it's just.
I would like to, Sarah. Can we read some of your notes? One of the things I love about
Sure.
this podcast is that sometimes we take notes and then we'll go back and like analyze them, condense them into, whatever we want. Thoughts,
sentences.
Other
sometimes.
times we just, especially when the games are like going down the toilet quickly, we kind of just end up with like these wonderful stream of conscious reactions.
Yeah.
And Sarah, I feel like you always write some of the funniest stream of conscious, just like line by line bullet
Yeah.
points, and we don't always get to enjoy them.
I do
would
it
like
for
to-
y'all.
I would
Yeah.
like to read some of them.
Yeah. So the thing I noticed before this game was when Amanda tweeted the lines for this game, and shit was just all over the place in this. So I wrote, lines are wacky because there were so many people who were out. So they brought Mercer to the center and they put Nate Bastian on the second line, which was incredible to me.
Nate Bastian, second line
I
wing.
absolutely love that.
But it's Nate Bastian, second line winger. LOL.
Yeah. And then also,
Great note.
but also Brendan Smith forward, and then the emoji with the star eyes. Because I love it. I love when they put him out as a forward. It's great.
They should have been real bold and done a Brendan Smith second line
Put him on the
winger.
second line too. Yeah. You cowards. Do it.
Nothing matters anymore. Just
No,
start
it
doing
doesn't.
shit.
You know?
Why not?
Just have some fun. Fuck it. Before Siegenthaler broke his foot in this game, they called a penalty on him for something. I don't remember what. Then I wrote, they shouldn't be allowed to give a penalty to the one guy of Asian descent on API Heritage Night. I don't think that should be allowed.
That's a hate crime.
Yeah. I just don't think it should be allowed.
Siegenthaler did nothing wrong.
No,
you
let
let him
him-
out of jail,
And then you broke his foot.
and then you broke his foot.
Rude.
This is how you celebrate him.
Poor Siegenthaler.
Lame. Yeah, poor Siegenthaler.
And then as they're scoring, I just write like brief little bits of like who scored. When Eric Holla scored, I wrote in all caps, Eric Holla, my guy. And then, damn, I spoke too soon.
So 11 seconds later, however many seconds later, such fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
So mad.
And then I ended my notes with this. And I'm still so mad because he scored and then they took it away from him.
Yes.
But I wrote again in all caps, Brendan fucking Smith. I spelled fucking wrong, but whatever. And then the next line, it's just a capital A.
Just the letter A.
Just the letter A. That's it.
That was the moment you typed the letter A, and then we're like,
And
you
then
know
gave
what?
up.
No more.
No.
No more. Turn the game off. We've seen enough.
That's how I feel about this game.
6-3. This was another 6-3 loss, right? Or is it 6-2?
No. It was a 6-4 loss.
6-4. Okay.
All right.
All right.
So,
Well, not the 6-3 curse.
it's a little different. Yeah.
Fought a little
Well,
harder.
Yeah.
One goal harder.
One goal harder. One goal at a time. They had a nice little break after this. A little 4-day weekend.
Mhm.
Maybe even a 5. It was a while.
Honestly, too much time.
They had to shake off the cobways
They did.
Yeah.
against the Tampa Bay Lightning. I think the first thing that needs to be commented upon is, like you were saying, Shannon, the number of injuries and the players who are out on injury.
Yeah.
Jack is out. Siegenthaler broke his foot. Timo is out with his medium body injury.
Mhm.
Dougie's obviously still out. Palat out.
Mhm.
Nocheck maybe coming back soon.
Okay.
Maybe, but
Okay.
still out. So that meant, again, the lines were wacky. We had the return of the Haller, Heischer, Mercer line.
Holler.
Oh, I know. I was just going to keep going.
That's fine. We can keep going.
It's
Cut that
hard
bit.
because Heischer and Mercer
Yeah.
both end in R's. And
Just-
so Holla wants to end in an R.
Just cut that
It's the
entirely.
holler line.
We'll leave
It's Holler.
Leave holler. Yeah.
Hula.
Just go right back. Yeah.
Sorry.
Hula.
It was Hula,
Yeah.
Heischer, and Mercer. Which I do like as a line, and I was like, yeah, maybe they can
Yeah.
do a little something something. And then we started off right out the gate with a really not so sexy Brendan Smith turnover
Yeah.
Yeah.
with a Lightning goal that thankfully only got taken away because of goalie interference.
Yes.
Take it
That
though.
was fortunate.
Yeah.
And then you know what happened?
No.
The thing that happens that curses the Devils. They took the first goal.
They did.
Fuck. Dawson Mercer scored this beautiful little ping pong goal. He shot and it bounced off the Lightning into the net. I love when that happens.
Yeah.
I love when you do like your own little rebound
Mhm.
into the net. But I knew in that moment the Devils were going to lose.
It was a curse.
Yeah.
What happened?
What happened is I don't know who's on the team anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know who this player is, but I just saw them come out. The back of their jersey was like Bowers. I was like, who the fuck is Bowers?
I have no idea.
All these-
They might have played well. I don't even know. I was just like,
This is half an
who is everybody?
It's half an AHL team out there.
Genuinely, yeah. I've
Mhm.
never heard of this guy before.
Max
I'm not gonna
Willman
lie.
came back. Nice to see you, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, okay, let's fucking go.
So while the half Devils, half Utica team was trying to figure out their chemistry, Glendening tied it up with a strong redirect. I have to mention this goal because I love saying the name Glendening.
It's good. Yeah.
It's a good day. It's a fun name to say.
Satisfying.
Unfortunately, I have to say it multiple times because Glendening also took the next goal for the Lightning.
Oh.
And it was a shorty. And this was, we gotta talk about this one. Because remember when I said earlier in the podcast to put a pin in it?
Yes. Taking the pen out.
You're right. We're taking a pin out of that comment Sarah made that commentators were noting that the Hughes brothers seem to be losing control of the puck.
Yes.
So Devils are on a power play. Luke is bringing the puck out of the defensive zone. And he just loses it. Sometimes you just
Yeah.
trip. Sometimes
Yeah.
you just lose it.
Happens.
I don't know. But Glendening, like lightning,
Yeah.
shoots in there
Damn.
and scores a shorty.
I'm so mad you made that and like metaphor.
A simile.
A simile. Thank you. It still makes me mad. It's accurate.
Yeah, it was good.
It hurt my heart. And I kind of just really wanted Vitek to save that first goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think you can focus on Luke lost the puck, but like sometimes that kind of just happens. And it would be real nice to have a goalie we could rely on as a last line of defense to catch those when those just like little trip ups happen.
I made a note. This game started making me question if Nico had a large enough sponge to absorb all the sadness.
Fucking sponge.
Because you could just see how upset Luke was, Vitek
Yeah.
was. It just, emotions were high.
Yeah, no one seemed happy.
And I was like, there's not enough Nico for what's happening right now.
There wasn't.
Because it just kind of
Someone
got worse.
Someone's got to ring him out.
Yeah.
The fuck.
Yeah. At this point in the game, it was 3-1, and I just said I didn't want to watch anymore.
Yeah. But
Then we had some crazy shit going on. No, I wrote the wrong thing because we don't know who scored.
Yeah, there was okay.
Nobody knows.
The Devils weren't out of the game. They were still putting up an effort, and there was this lovely moment where everyone put up some effort for a goal. It was the only way I can describe this is a pinball machine goal. Brad, Luke, McLeod were all in front of the net, pinballing the puck back and forth. They score. I'm going to be honest. I don't. Brad
know who
claimed
they
the
credit
goal.
it to.
I think they credit it to McLeod, but then I saw also the Devils tweeting Brad goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in any case, I think the Lightning scored this goal for them.
Fully.
It kind of looks like they kicked it in.
Nobody knows.
But you know what happened? You know what did happen after that?
What happened?
What happened?
This was Nate Bastian's 200th game.
It sure
Playing in the
was.
NHL.
And he started off with a little shit-eating grin and a fight.
A little tussle, as you expect. But then he scored his second goal in the season in his 200th game.
Now, this was a beautiful goal. It
It was
was
scream that I screamed.
it was a big bass breakaway.
Yeah.
Just him and the goalie.
King shit.
Yeah. Until you realize that it's his second goal.
Yeah.
And it's January.
Oh.
I don't want to take the excitement away from him,
Boy.
but it's January.
It's January.
Brother, you're not Brendan Smith.
Well, maybe he's trying to have the new Brendan Smith position, right? Because
So-
Brendan Smith took the
The Miles Wood
Miles
position.
Wood. Yeah, Brendan Smith took the Miles Wood position. So now
Nate
Nate
Bastian.
Bastian's taking the old Brendan Smith position.
We only need one.
Yeah. But I thought it was funny.
I like. We just watched this game, and I already have so little to say about it because it just like makes me sad.
Yeah. Let's just end it then. Let's just get it done.
That's okay. I had hope. We tied it. We went to OT.
Well, before they went to
that's
OT,
McLeod scored, and then they took that back.
Yeah.
That's why we went to OT.
Yes.
Mhm.
To add to the heartbreak of this game, the Devils did stay in it. They did put up a fight. And I think that's relevant because a lot of people seeing the lineup of like half the Devils, half Utica, basically, a lot of people were not going into this game with very high expectations. And I think some people just kind of wanted them to hold their own. I am forever an optimist and wanted them to
I
do
wanted
their
to
best.
win.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Why wouldn't you want that? And they almost did. They took the lead 4-3 when Michael McLeod scored a third period goal, but it was offsides.
It was so close.
They went back to being tied and maybe could have made a little bit of a comeback, but then they had a late period power kill. So there was just really not enough time. And in OT, they took a point because they went to OT.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got a point. I would
Islanders
prefer
strategy.
The Lightning
2
scored.
points. Yeah.
And Vitek, my heart was breaking. You could just see the moment he like gave up. Lightning scored. The light left his eyes.
Yeah.
And he just very sadly went straight off the ice.
Yeah.
I wanted to give him a hug.
Not to kick him while he's down. Because I feel for him.
Yeah, we love you, Vitek, but
His save percentage for this game was 80%. The
It's getting
Lightning
lower and lower.
only had 20 shots on goal. They made 4 of them. 1/5 of them went in.
yeah.
The Devils outshot them by 10. They had 30 shots on goal. 1/10 of theirs went in.
I hate to say that I think we do have a bit of a goalie problem.
No.
I'm in denial.
You are deep in denial. I accepted this
Absolutely.
weeks ago.
I think I'm
I
finally
know.
accepting it. I don't like it, but
I'm going to remain in denial. I like being in denial.
I have
It's a
additional
good-
denial.
Oh, okay.
If you were like me on the John Gibson bandwagon, he's now injured. Sad.
injuries, man. These injuries.
The Ducks are going through it right now.
Yeah.
Losing Jamie Drysdale. Trevor Zegras shatters his ankle. Gibson is on injury now.
Things are
Rough out
not-
there.
Yeah.
It's rough out there to be
Great.
a hockey fan.
I believe we're 2-2. 2 wins, 2 losses.
One
that we're
overtime
talking about
loss.
this.
embracing the Islander strategy.
Yeah.
We're coming for you.
Maybe we'll somehow get to third.
You don't have to
doing
win.
that.
You just have to not lose.
Yep.
Shannon, give me something to reward, something to celebrate.
Yeah.
I think
We
we
need some fun.
Something fun.
So we're going to move on over into the Scricuffle Awards because this is where we give Academy Awards to the most cinematic fights of the week. There was a lot of good stuff this week. I mean, too many tasty morsels. So the first thing I got to say is for a team that I would normally say doesn't like get into fights, we have a lot of fighters. And I thought it was kind of funny. I just thought to myself, we have a lot of defensemen, but not defensemen.
Okay.
I see you not getting my joke.
I'm
It's
trying
fine.
to. I don't get
Like,
it.
we have a lot of guys that are good at defending when we get hit or like people get checked and they're like, no. And
Do
they'll go
we?
fight the other team. I thought we did. I thought we were showing much better aggression this season.
More than they used to. Yeah, I agree with you. More than they used to.
I think we're getting better because I remember last season I would comment all the time. I'm like, stop beating up Jack Hughes and Nico. And I was like, I hate seeing this, but I feel like it's getting better.
Yeah, we have more defenders.
So I have to start with the Blackhawks game because there were so many fights. But there was two main scuffles I want to talk about. And the first one is the Brendan Smith fight. So if you watch closely, you could see Nick Foligno has a conversation with Brendan Smith at the puck drop. And before the puck drops, you could see them talking, and right after the puck drops, they just immediately drop gloves and start punching each other. But that conversation was so interesting because it didn't look like they were shit talking each other. They weren't angry. It was more like, as Sarah said this to me, it felt like an old timey duel. And Nick Foligno just said, I got to fight you, you know? And Brendan Smith is like, I accept your challenge.
Nick Foligno's like, I have to defend Connor Bedard's honor.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And they went at it. They just, as soon as the puck dropped, just gloves off. They didn't care about the play. Nothing mattered. And the refs let this play out for minutes. It was so long. I have to say, Nick got in more hits on Brendan Smith. But I have to give a lot of credit to Brendan Smith for just not going down and not going down to the ice. I was actually impressed how many times he got hit and didn't go down. And this fight did not end because it was broken up. It just ended because they got tired and they couldn't really hit each other anymore. And they were just kind of holding on to their jerseys, which I was like, what is happening? And then there was an immediate follow-up. I believe this whole Scricuffle happened as a result from Jack Hughes getting checked.
Weird way for a fight to start.
Yeah, but I've just never saw this much fighting in a game this season. It was everybody all at once. And to quote Allie, is that the penalty box or the bench? There was so many people.
There was literally one moment where the camera panned across like a bunch of players sitting next to each other. And I genuinely didn't know if it was the bench or the penalty box.
Yeah. And this was the main fight was Bastian versus Vlasic. But then Mercer got involved. He threw himself in there. Nemitz got involved. And I'm like, what is happening? And I love Holtz because he's just standing there watching. He's like, I'm not getting involved.
Vibe.
But this scuffle in particular was just, it felt like the whole team was starting to square off with each other. And the refs kind of pushed the other players back. It's like, oh, no. But it was Bastian and Vlasic really got into it.
Pickle
but
man.
Mercer just threw himself on the back of one of the Blackhawks players that was going to team up against Bastian and took him right down to the ice. And they just started hitting each other, even though they're both laying down. They couldn't really get at it.
Some WWE shit.
Literally. I think my favorite part was Nemitz throwing himself in there because he didn't need to be involved in the fight, but he just skated over and just slammed one of the guys. It's like, no, I'm involved. I'm a fighter.
I love that for him.
Okay. And then lastly, I just had to note this other scuffle during the Tampa Bay game. There was a Lightning player that shoved Vitek. Not cool. And I was so proud of Vitek. He shoved back. But that immediately resulted in like Miller answered. And he's like, no. You don't shove our fucking goalie. Hit this guy. It was unfortunate because I believe this resulted in a penalty. But the best part of this, again, Nemitz, he just wants to be a fighter.
He just wants to be
was just
involved.
like, yeah,
he just wants an invite to the party.
Yeah.
literally. And I don't know if you guys remember, there was the second Lightning player that went up
I
against.
love how we never give the other team names. It's
No.
like I
Sometimes.
No, I like it because
Oh, okay.
it's like in a movie, like when the villains never get names or identities. They're just
Yeah.
like generic. It's like when you're watching Lord of
Bad
the Rings.
guy number
It's just
two.
generic bad guy number 2.
Mhm.
In the
So-
fights, it's just generic bad guy lightning bolt number 3.
Yeah, so it was generic lightning bolt bad guy too. And he was teaming up against Miller with the first lightning bad guy.
I love
And
this.
Nemitz was like, oh, no, and skated right over, pulled the back of that guy's jersey and brought him to the ground. I was like,
So
it was
it's
incredible.
a little underhanded, grabbing the collar and the pulling.
Oh, yeah. And
It's a little dirty.
I was just like, what is happening? I didn't think Nemitz was this person, but I'm here
It
for this.
makes me like him more.
Yeah. But I'm going to have to give the Skrkoffel Award this week to Mercer because
So many shocking people getting
Okay.
Skrkoffel awards.
Yeah.
it was really just how he threw himself into that fight. He didn't need to be involved in it. He was not across the ice, but he skated in, jumped on that guy's back, brought him to the ice, and he's like, I'm in this. This is happening. That wasn't okay. So that's why he gets the Skrkoffel Award this week.
Congratulations.
Yeah, there's just a lot of scuffles, Skrkoffels, scuffles. So, Allie,
Yeah.
what are the whispers on the Twitter wins this week?
Honestly, a lot of things happen on Twitter this week. We already talked about a couple of the points I mentioned, that Connor Bedard turned out to have a fractured jaw and he underwent surgery and is anticipated to be out for 6 to 8 weeks. I really expected Brendan Smith gets a fine tweet to be tweeted.
Or a suspension.
Yeah, never came. So
Huh.
that worked out in his favor, I suppose. The big talk on Twitter this week is that all of the sudden, to everyone's shock and surprise, Jamie Drysdale got traded to the Philadelphia Flyers.
Mhm.
And apparently, even like Jamie Drysdale was kind of shocked by this. It was just like,
Okay.
one day he's a Flyer
Going
now,
there, I guess.
and just now he's in Philly. So I hope he likes the cold. I don't know how cold it is in Anaheim. I'm one of those East Coasters who just assumes California is warm.
Yeah.
But it's a huge state. So Anaheim might be in one
I
of the
don't know.
northern cold parts.
Yeah.
I don't know where Anaheim is.
I don't either.
Nope.
I couldn't find it on a map. Less interesting, truthfully, to me than Drysdale being in Philly. I guess now I'm going to have to learn more things about him besides just like the generic Twitter things I know about him now that he's playing for a rival team.
Mm.
But what's more interesting is how he ended up there.
Yes.
Because what happened was that Cutter Gauthier didn't want to play for the Philadelphia Flyers.
Don't blame him.
So Gauthier was drafted for the Flyers like back in the spring/summer. And he has since been playing for Team USA. He was on the World Juniors team that just won, which I don't have time to get into all of the drama around the USA team, but they did win. Sweden was not very happy about it. They were getting booed the entire time in their game. Multiple players had lovely little shit-eating grins as they were blowing kisses to the fans in the stands that were booing them, which I personally think is kind of funny.
Absolutely.
But some people just didn't like that. They thought it was arrogant. Thank you. In any case, so Cutter Gauthier, he gets drafted by the Flyers, goes off to win World Juniors with the USA team, gets back from that, barely has time to get back from that, and just, I guess, calls the Flyers up and says, hey, you know what? Fuck Philly. I'm going to play for Anaheim.
Wow.
And that was apparently the what sparked this entire trade, was simply that he didn't want to be there anymore. He gets sent to the Ducks. Drysdale gets sent to the Flyers. And everyone else is left wondering what the hell happened. He hasn't really explained his reason for not wanting to play for the Flyers. And I personally, this might be an unpopular opinion, I personally don't really think he has to.
No.
He's received a lot of controversy for this. He actually did an interview with The Athletic where he explained that he's been receiving death threats.
Drastic.
Part of the reason why he's been receiving a lot of criticism for this is that he hasn't specifically stated why he didn't want to play for the Flyers.
Okay.
In his interview, he said, that's the question kind of everyone's wondering. And the biggest thing I can say right now is I have to keep it to myself, my family, and my agent. It's been a long process in the past handful of months of dealing with this. I don't think it's the right time to kind of discuss it. And he just reiterated that he wanted to keep it a private matter. Apparently, he, as soon as he was drafted, like back in May by the Flyers, he told them up front that he had no intention of playing for the team.
Okay.
And which I think is fair. He was not like he pulled a fast one on them. He went off.
No, he told them.
Was on, the World Juniors Championship team and then came back and was like, actually, fuck you, Philly. I don't want to play for you anymore. It was more, he gets drafted by them and tells them up front that he doesn't want to play for them and doesn't want to say publicly why. A lot of people have been criticizing him for this, kind of calling him ungrateful, saying that he's not honoring the team that gave him a shot to play in the NHL. But I feel like Anaheim was willing to take him, and there's plenty of reasons why someone might not want to be on a team. It might have nothing to do with the Flyers. I don't know where his family lives currently in the U.S., or if they even do live in the U.S. I know he was born in Sweden while his father was playing in Sweden, and then at some point they moved back to the U.S. and he was raised here. It's entirely possible that he just wanted to be on a team closer to where his family is. It's possible that he has certain ties in the area. Like, you don't really know. There could be any number of reasons that have nothing to do with
the Flyers.
It could
have nothing to do with them, but other external factors. We're not going to know.
And I don't really think it's our business.
Yeah.
Or worth sending death threats over.
No, absolutely not.
So
it's ridiculous.
In any case, now we'll get to be seeing Jamie Drysdale in the Flyers outdoor game against the Devils in the next couple of weeks. We'll get to see him live in action.
All right.
So that was the big drama on Twitter this week. But while we're talking about this.
Yes.
Despite how long our current running recording time is, Shannon, I'm going to tease for you a new segment that we are calling the PWHL Pop-Up.
Oh.
Because it's not necessarily going to be a regular segment every week.
Yeah.
It's going to be a pop-up segment. And what inspired this was, I mentioned when we were talking about the Blackhawks game, that was the first hockey game that my sister has ever watched in her entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, randomly, and when I mean randomly, I woke up today to a text from my sister. I'm going to paraphrase this, but she texted me. She, mentioned how that was the first hockey game she ever watched. And then she proceeded to say that she has been watching the PWHL. And she is very rapidly becoming like a PWHL fan.
Love it. It was amazing.
To quote her, I think this is something that's really cool because we were talking on the last Change Pod when they had me on as a guest about how the PWHL is really out there on social media, catching a lot of fans.
Yeah.
A lot of new fans from all over the place. Like, I've been seeing them all over my social media, but even like my sister, someone who does not follow hockey and doesn't even listen to this podcast, by the way,
rude,
is getting exposed to the PWHL. So she was seeing the ads for it. She started watching the games and she texted me. I just get all teary-eyed seeing the happy little girls getting to watch the women play hockey. So I have hopes that my sister will do a guest segment giving us the rundown on the PWHL. And she's got lots of content because she proceeded to text me every thought that she has on the PWHL right now. I am going to go through this and just give you a really quick bullet highlight points. All right. The most fun thing, PWHL Montreal was playing. Someone tweeted, score a goal and celly with your fiance. 2 players on this team scored. They were having their little celebration. So someone named Marcus responded to this tweeter. Her fiance is there? ? Didn't see him behind the glass. And someone else says, her fiance is number 29, Poulin. She's gay, Marcus. Montreal teammates Laura Stacy and Marie Philippoulin are fiancés. They play on the same team together. And they are a couple.
Cool.
That's so fun. Mm-hmm. And the phrase, she's gay, Marcus. They're gay, Marcus.
Love it.
So funny. I love that little tagline. It was making me cry laughing. My sister is a New York fan, mostly because Corinne Schroeder is the goalie and she fucking rocks. My sister sent me this note on New York. Apparently, the coach for New York said, quote, defense was optional for his team in the preseason, and he's hoping they've refined their game defensively, which is such a burn. Those are my sister's words, not mine. Your coach calling your own defense optional. You know, if you're wondering, did New York refine their defense?
Yeah.
According to my sister, no. As of the last game, they have not. She says the only reason they didn't get wrecked even worse by Montreal is because Corinne Schroeder bailed them out. If you're a New Jersey Devils fan and you're looking for a goalie to heal your heart to root for, and you don't want to have to find it in Shesterkin or Sorokin, you can root for New York's Corinne Schroeder.
Okay.
The opening game for Minnesota pulled more than 13,000 viewers. That's not viewers on TV. That's viewers in person at the stadium.
Is that good? I don't know.
That's incredible. That's a record.
That is incredible. I didn't even realize.
Almost all of the merch sold out after the first 3 games.
That's great.
And she specifically highlighted that the fact that the games are being streamed on YouTube is really helping to promote the online viewership as well. The match between the season opener between Toronto and NYC drew 2.9 million viewers.
Wow. That's fantastic.
It is a lot. So these are just some fun little notes from my sister on the PWHL. And hopefully at some point in the future, we can get her live in person to give you her fun little thoughts on the PWHL.
So let's worry about not worrying about things.
Let's not worry about how long this episode is running.
It's fine. It's all fine because this is the segment where we don't worry about it because sometimes I'm saying random shit and the announcers do it too. So this week, I'm going to start off with something I meant to mention earlier, but forgot to say during the segment, but to quote myself because Allie and Sarah wrote it down. During the Lightning game, everyone on the Devils needs a fucking Snickers.
This was because a Snickers commercial that was like, you're not yourself and you're hungry. You need a Snickers came on. And Shannon's like, the Devils aren't themselves. Everyone needs a Snicker.
I'll buy them Snickers
Yeah.
if it helps.
That's what they need.
So first we got empty that tank tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I think this was in reference to the
back-to-back.
big gap that in play that they had.
Okay.
That they could empty the tank tomorrow.
Okay.
Maybe not. I could be wrong.
Does empty the tank mean giving it all you got or taking a rest? We're just going to not worry
Unsure.
about it.
I'm
We're
not gonna
gonna
worry
about
That's
it.
what we
Moving
do.
on.
We don't worry about it in the segment.
I love this one. This was Bill said, I'm a little confused. And then Dano replied, we are all there right now, Bill. This was, I think, during the Blackhawks game, all the fighting and penalties happened. And there was just a moment where everyone lost track of what was going on. This is my favorite. Kevin Ball down the wall. I just feel like this is like a lyric to some song.
Yeah.
I was trying to make a rhyme. That's why I looked up. With a shawl
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Ball down the wall with a shawl
to make a call,
Oh.
to make a call
catch the ball.
to catch the ball.
They're playing a different sport now.
Yep. Now he is.
And lastly, we passed our quota time for a penalty. It's been about 6 minutes. This was Bill. This is a lot about where we are right now.
Yeah.
Time for my favorite segment.
All right, let's get into it. What is our It Boy? Who is our It Boy
What
of the week?
is our it boy
What
of the
is
week?
he? We'll find out what he is after we determine who it is.
Correctamundo. All right, 4 games. We got lots of boys we could pick from. Some of them are boys we don't even know.
Who got their first, or is it second goal this season?
Nate Bastian.
Yeah, fuck it. We'll nominate Nate Bastian.
All right. That's where we're at.
Yep.
Fuck it.
I mean, we don't have to pick someone based on what they did this week. We can't just pick someone because we want to.
That's true.
It doesn't have to be anyone who's like, it can be someone who's out.
Okay.
Even if they're out.
I nominate Dougie Hamilton for showing up to Brendan Smith's cancer can jam thing
There you go.
with his broken pectoral.
Yeah.
I was going to nominate Nemitz for deciding he wanted to be a fighter.
I like it.
Ooh.
All right. Who are we voting for?
I don't know, because we've all put forth a nomination at
That
this
is
point.
correct.
So are we going to have another one of those unfortunate like standoffs where we all try and say a different one again at
We
the
all
same
point
time?
at each other. So our nominations are Dougie Hamilton,
Yeah.
Nate Bastian,
Yep.
or Shimon Nimitz,
Yep.
who has already been It Boy of the Week.
So is Dougie.
I could retract
Oh,
this.
yeah. You don't
I was going
you
to
don't
put
have to.
forward, I was going to put Daw's name in there as well, just for playing. But
Just for playing.
You know what?
Yeah.
It's a
You know
strange
what?
week.
Yeah. I'm going to change mine.
Okay.
I'm going to say Nico Dawes.
Okay.
He's been doing good for us, I
I'm
think.
keeping mine. I'm
All
rooting
right.
for Dougie still.
Well,
So then I guess it's Nico Dawes.
yeah. I think that still comes out to Nico Dawes.
No,
is
you win. You win.
Nico Dawes is the It Boy of the Week.
Yeah. Dougie Hamilton, you're second place.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm not tracking second place It Boys. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's just because Nico Dawes, he's been playing. I'm happy to see him
That
play.
is the only criteria you need for It Boy of the Week.
He's been playing. Yeah.
You don't even need to be playing.
I thought he was doing well. He battled hard to the end, even
Yeah.
if things got through. I was just happy to see the grit.
Nico Dawes,
Yeah.
you are It Boy of the Week.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Woo.
So we've been talking about a couple of things in this episode, specifically flavors of revenge school.
Oh.
But I think we've done too many things. There's too many flavors of drinks that we've done.
Yeah, we did that a lot.
Okay.
So earlier on, you mentioned that Dawson's outfit was a soup.
Okay.
So I think if Nico Dawes was a soup, he'd be tomato.
I don't know enough about Nico Dawes to refute this. So I think you are 100% correct.
Okay.
And it is irrefutable and undeniable that Nico Dawes is tomato soup.
Mhm.
And anyone who tries to say otherwise is uninformed.
Yeah.
I was thinking like spaghetti.
Is that a,
I don't think I count that as a soup.
is SpaghettiOs a soup?
like alphabet soup? Don't worry about it.
We're not gonna worry about it.
We're
Jack
just
Hughes would be
We're
like a
not.
basic bitch chicken noodle
Yes,
soup.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would be like a minestrone?
just thinking that
Good question.
exact thing.
That's weird. Dougie Hamilton?
Yeah, I think Dougie. That's
Yeah.
what I was
Yeah.
thinking too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You have any songs for us?
You know exactly what song we're going to sing, Shannon.
Actually, I don't.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. You were the one who put it in this episode.
What?
did.
Shots, shots,
Oh.
shots, 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 shots. Everybody!
There we go.
This is Hot Girls Hockey. Tune in next week for more sugar.
Spice.
And everything ice.
If you like our show, please leave us a rating, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and tweet at us at hotgirlshockey_.